Hello guys, and welcome to my first video on showing you the proper way to handle your bearded dragon and a few tips, and introducing you to my bearded dragon Cozmo. And we're going to take him out of his cage right now. And here he is, Cozmo. He's a juvenile. And so before I take him out, I'm going to tell you tip number one. So tip number one is you always want to have a cricket cage for your bearded dragon. So, and you also always want to have a tube so they can climb up the tube. And you always want to have a cap for this and a container. And put some of the calcium for your bearded dragon in the container. So the crickets will be healthy for your bearded dragon to eat. And then you'll close the container. And then you'll shake it up. And then you'll dump the crickets in here. But sometimes they don't always have to be calcium. And then so now I'm going to take him out and I'll tell you a few tips while I'm holding him. So also you want to pet your bearded dragon so it calms down before you take it out, because if you just grab it, then it's going to think like you're an eagle or a predator, and it'll think that you're sneak attacking it as a predator, such as an eagle, because the predators, they don't wait, so they would just grab it. So you have to pet it so it knows that you're about to hold it. And then you either want to pick it up by the chest and then grab its belly, or you could just scoop it up by its belly. Right now, since its chest is on a log, I'll try going by the belly. And here he is, Cozmo. I'm going to sit down because he likes to run around a lot. And then tip number two is, if you have a bearded dragon cage, you always want to spray it on the sides, because the bearded dragons drink with their bodies more than they do with their mouths. So the water will evaporate off the walls and into their bodies. And you always want a thermometer in there, and a humidity, and a temperature. And you also want a log, just in case it feels like it's scared, so it would go on the log. Or you want a cactus so it could climb on, or sticks, so it feels like it's in the desert, because bearded dragons are mostly from deserts. And if you get a big container like I did, you get a lamp. You would get a cool lamp and 2 hot lamps. You'd want to turn the red one. You'd want to keep the red one on at night and turn the other ones off at night, and then turn those on in the morning. And in the day, if you have a juvenile or an adult bearded dragon, you want to feed it at least 5 to 10 crickets a day, calciumed, or you either want them calciumed or not calciumed. You should have most of them calciumed, because the calcium is healthy for them. And you also want pellets. Those are like vitamins for them. And you would also want to chop up lettuce into small pieces so it would be able to eat them. He's been eating a lot of the pellets and a lot of the lettuce, so that's good. He's staying healthy. And you also want a replacement of the lights. And you also want, if you get a giant cage like I did with all the supplies in it, immediately you want to throw out the Vitasand, because the Vitasand is not good for it. If it eats something with the Vitasand on its food, then the Vitasand will build up in its body and it would get sick and die. There's this other sand that if its food got the other sand on it, then it would be healthy for it to eat its food with the sand on it. You could buy the sand at Petco. And if you don't buy that stuff, then you would either want the carpets, you would want the brown one, so it feels like it's at desert, because if you get the green one, it's going to feel like it's in a tropical rainforest. But if you have two, a girl and a boy, and they mated, and you have eggs, you want to get the reptile baiter. It is an egg hatcher. So it's like a giant square with lights at the bottom and egg holders at the top, and it would heat the egg from the bottom and get them ready to hatch, and then they would hatch. So then you would have baby bearded dragons or baby animals, whatever type of animal laid eggs. But if you don't spray the walls, then you would want a water bowl so it goes in there and drinks once in a while. But you don't want to feed it grapes. I already tried that. He didn't eat the grapes. So we decided to put lettuce and a few other stuff in there, foods in there for him. And you also, you would, once you get your bearded dragon, you never want to hold it for at least 3 to 2 days. You don't want to hold your bearded dragon once you get it because it needs to get used to the cage environment, and it would feel like it's at home in the desert. And then eventually when you hold it a lot, it needs to get used to you holding it. And it will take a while for it to get used to you, but once it gets used to you, it will know you're its owner, and once it gets used to being held in your hands, it will know that it's allowed to be held in your hands, and it knows that it won't get attacked in your hands, and it knows that your hands are safe for it to go on. But if you have a leopard gecko, you don't want to do stuff like this, but you want to do the same things with bearded dragons, only with bearded dragons. And if your bearded dragon is aggressive, it would probably be nicer to you, because bearded dragons are always nice in one way, because if your bearded dragon is aggressive, it just thinks like you're a predator, and so it puffs up its beard and it tries to protect itself, but once in a while it'll get used to you, and then it would know you're not a predator. And so that is how I showed you some things about my bearded dragon and introduced you and taught you how to handle him. And bye, guys.